Eyepoke's head jokes.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 160, 170 of Eye Pokes and Head Chokes, right?
Oh yeah, we made yeah.
170. We're inching up the Bronx right now. We're at 170th. We're close. We're close.
Just left.
Huh?
So just left me.
I know. But yeah, we're back after a good UFC weekend. You got myself, Mr. Alex, and Mr.
Pretty
Koola
decent.
here. It was a good pay-per-view weekend. He had a great UFC card, and you had a relatively decent Money in the Bank for the most part, honestly, except for the end. But
it was
but it was fun to watch. Honestly, for me, I had so much fun. Like, not to shit on just. Real quick, not to shit on WWE or wrestling or AEW, even for them, like, you know, keeping going during the whole pandemic, because like it's great that they did that, and it's great that they have been like, you know, trying to provide entertainment for everybody while the whole sports world was pretty much on a freeze. But as soon as UFC came back, I know people that don't even watch UFC, that don't watch MMA or anything, they were just watching because it's like the first sporting event we've had in 8 weeks already, and
maybe a little bit
about 8 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks probably, within the United States at least, I could say, because in England they like kind of like, not in England but in Europe, like they kind of like started slowing that stuff down a little bit after us. I don't remember, but either way, like just being able to see sports come back, at least like even if it's combat sports, like everybody was super happy to see it, and it did not disappoint. UFC 249 was fun throughout, from the prelims to the main card. I was even watching the early prelims on ESPN Plus, and
you never do that.
I never do that. I just wanted to see fights, and dude, there were some good fights in the early prelims, like some really, really, really good fights in the early prelims, which is what I said would happen because of the fact that like dudes were hungry. It's been a while, and they just like, you know, they want to be part of, you know, reopening the whole sports scene within the United States. I even just saw recently that in Germany, the Bundesliga, their major soccer division, they're turning it back on this weekend. I think this upcoming weekend, like they've curtailed. I think they've got it to the point where they deem it acceptable to restart. And I think still without crowds, at least like the games could keep going. But for the
your mic just got a little bit low.
My mic just got a little bit low.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. It just got like a little like a scotch.
Lower. A scotch. Anyways, I don't know what's going on. Like, this is what I was telling you with there was like a little defect when I was doing the editing the episode from Friday, but either way, but yeah, so like back to the UFC 249, like I'm just gonna run through the cards real quick, even the early
prelim.
Ryan Spann defeated Sam Alvey by split decision in a pretty good scrap. It was really pretty good.
Okay. I didn't see these two matches.
No, it was really good. It was back and forth action. They were hitting each other, and it was good. And like I said, I was just excited. I was watching it on my my gaming Discord. We were all just watching it together. We were like, "Yo, finally!" Like, and, you know, we got some fights. After that, we had Bryce Mitchell.
Pirating again.
Huh?
Pirating again.
Pirating. It's part of the feature. Bryce Mitchell defeated Charles Rosa by unanimous decision. So Bryce Mitchell is a fucking beast on the ground. I was texting Killer Dan, and I was like, "Yo," I'm like, "This dude is putting on a masterclass every time."
We should have had him on tonight's pod.
He should have. I completely forgot to text him. Plus, he also takes like 5 hours to respond sometimes. So like, yeah. But no.
Okay, so next time ask him during the UFC.
But we do have we do have UFC coming back on Wednesday, and then we have a fight night this Saturday. So who knows? Like,
okay, yeah,
we could still be
well,
on the card. Fuck it.
See
like,
what he says for next
next
Monday.
Yeah. But yeah, Bryce Mitchell put on a fucking clinic on the ground. It was grappling. It was technical wrestling. What we saw, what I saw, and I was just like, this dude just had him dead to rights. Every time they were on the ground, and Rosa tried doing something, Mitchell was just like, nope. Put him in this thing called I think it was called the Twister or some shit like that. I would look it up. I'll probably like put an overlay on it, but like, dude, he went for it like 3 times, and people have only gone for it like 10 times or 12 times total in UFC history. So like, he went for it like 2 or 3 times in the match itself, which was fucking crazy. But Mitchell was just all over him, didn't let Rosa breathe, and it was a masterclass in terms of like executing game plan and just stating it, showing why you're the better technical person overall.
I'm gonna have to watch that match.
Yeah,
I want to watch those 2. Yeah.
Huh?
I want to watch those 2 more than anything else, and I didn't get a chance to see the Anthony Pettis match either, so I know I definitely have to watch that. And I couldn't finish the fucking Greg Hardy fight.
It was decent. So after that, we had the prelims. We had Vicente Luque defeating Nico Price by TKO. That was a good fight. They were knocking the shit out of each other. They were just going back and forth. One had a broken nose. Like, it was just really, really good. For the most part, Luque had the upper hand, and I mean, he just knocked the boy out. Like, I forgot what it was with, actually, that he knocked him out with. I think it was I forgot what it was, to be honest with you. I think it was a left hook that caught him right in the fucking jaw or the temple. I don't remember, but like he just knocked him down, and by then it was just like, yo. Like,
and that was the doctor stoppage, right?
Yeah. Because he couldn't see, because his eye was like this, and like, yeah, he couldn't see at all. And the fighter wanted to, so he punched him so hard, he knocked him down, but he didn't get knocked out. He went to go ground and pound, hit him twice. He got back up, but like, the ref saw it, that his eye was like literally closed. He couldn't see out of it. And it was a beautiful hook right over see, there goes my shoe boxes, right over the arm, and caught him right on the fucking eye. And the doctor came in, just took a look, and he was like, he can't continue, because like, he legit can't see. He legit couldn't see. So like, because imagine, like, if you just get caught and you can't see all of this, like, yeah, you have your other eye, but that's a whole ass section.
Yeah,
you're not gonna see the fits coming from this way. So
you're like PCO in the full
exactly.
How the hell, whatever, brothel. That should be.
After that, we had Carla Esparza defeating Michelle Waterson in a split decision, which I thought was way. I don't know. I had Michelle Waterson winning that one. It was at least a tie, minimum a tie, or Michelle Waterson winning that one, because each person did enough in the first 2 rounds to win one. So I had them tied initially after the first 2 rounds, and then I just think.
Well, Waterson, her leg was fucked up.
You think so?
She was limping.
True.
Like that, like going to the corner in the second at the end of the second round, she was limping, and you could see it was a little swollen, not too much. It was a little red. You could see a little bit happening.
Yeah.
But her left leg was pretty fucked up. It was pretty beat up, and like, she was the only one where, like, they both was wearing damage, but she was wearing it a little bit more. So I get, like, for me personally,
I get it, like, being 29-28.
Yeah.
For each one, but like, scoring it 30-27, like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that judge looking at? Like, I'm like, 30-27, really? Like, I don't know what they were looking at.
It was a lot of clear hits, though, like, from both sides.
From both sides. But, so that's why, like, I just felt overall that, like, it was. It should have been a tie. It should have been a tie. There's no other word around it. Should have been a tie.
Yeah, that was the first match that I actually seen, and I was sitting there. I was like, "Oh, this is amazing."
No, it was good. Really, it was fun to watch. Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, if you watch the fucking masterclass that Bryce Mitchell put on, though, you're gonna be like, yo, this dude, he put it this way. It's like me watching Bryce Mitchell was kind of like watching this dude from New Japan, Rev Pro champ, or former Rev Pro champ,
Zach?
Zack Sabre Jr. It was like watching Zack Sabre Jr. just fucking whoop ass. Like that's what it felt like. So like I know you would like watching that fight. After that we had Alexei Oleinik defeating Fabricio Verdum by split decision. Not to take away from the two 42-year-olds in the octagon. Alexei Oleinik has wins in 4 different decades. Dude started he started MMA when I was fucking 7 years old. So it's like I can't really talk. Yeah, exactly. I can't really talk shit. About him. Like it was a decent fight. He put up like he was rocking the shit out of Fabricio Verdum in the first round, just wailing on him. And I think he got tired because he thought he could knock him out in the first round, which he probably could have had he just kept going. But you know,
he was a little bit Brazilian. He was just a little bit too Brazilian in his slam.
Verdum was former UFC heavyweight champion, so it's like we know what he's made of, and like for him to go to distance, like after being out of it for a while and whatever, like you know, against Alexei, who's like a fucking ultra veteran, like a fucking beast, still going at 42. Like, I mean, it was a pretty good fight, pretty good heavyweight fight. I mean, obviously, like
really
towards the end, slowed down, but obviously that's because of age and fatigue and all that stuff. But yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to take anything away from Fabricio, but that last round he was a lot more gas. A lot more gas, and you can tell like just the difference between this fight and then the other fight. Like he had to put on a lot of weight. It was not that he wasn't that toned. So, like you could just tell.
And on the other end, Alexei dropped like fucking 20 pounds, toned up, and he looked good compared to his last fight. Even the fucking Joe Rogan and DC were like, yo, this dude looks cut up. Like he looks like he lost a good 15, 20 pounds. And I think that was the difference. I think overall, if Fabricio would have used his weight more, kind of like Tyson Fury did with Wilder, like use his weight and put it on him and then like did quick short hits or whatever, and they just like kind of just mauled him a bit, it probably would have been a different fight. But then again, I'm like, yeah, you could have done that, but you're doing that against a Russian dude that's been fighting for almost 30 years, and I'm pretty sure he's seen every trick in the game, which he did, which Verdum almost got him with a fucking like with an arm bar and a Kimura, and like the way he defended it was beautiful. I was like, how did you defend that shit? Because
how do you roll into that?
He rolled into a defense for it, and I was just like, and they were like, yo, you've legit seen everything. He knows how to defend everything. Yeah, he might not always win, but like that shit was impressive as fuck, though. Honestly,
different. But
I would give the dude a chance, like to go like to the higher ranks at least. Like fight a rank 3. If you can fight a rank 3, you might be in line for a title fight at 42, 43. So fuck it, why not? After that, we have Anthony Pettis defeating Donald Cerrone in unanimous decision. I
don't know how I missed that pretty much.
I don't know either. I personally think that Cerrone won that fight.
Not Showtime? They gave it to Showtime?
They gave it to Showtime. It was close for a little while, but I think because Pettis landed a lot of counter hits was the reason why they gave it to him. And he also picked up his aggression in the second round more so than the first round because Cerrone was more aggressive. So I don't know, but I just felt like Donald Cerrone did enough to win that one, but not via unanimous decision, via split decision. Or if Anthony Pettis was to have won, which he did, obviously, it should have been via split decision, not via unanimous. Like, because I mean, I had it very close. I had it almost a tie until I saw Cerrone do some things, and I was just like, I think Cerrone won this one. And then when Pettis won, even Pettis was like, oh shit, like his reaction when he won, he was like, oh shit, like
That's wild. When
So like
you
if the
don't,
fighter that won is like,
I need to watch this. Like like even he says,
fight. Yeah, it was a
yeah,
good
like
fight. It was like,
that's just crazy when he's not even aware. He's just like, I don't think I won that. I'm not sure if I did. Like, you have to be realistic, but at the same time, it's still like if you're that surprised,
because honestly speaking, like when Joe Rogan asked him, he was just like, oh well, he was like, you look surprised. He was like, a bit. That's what something to that effect. He was like, yeah, a bit. I thought it was pretty close, so I wasn't sure. That's what he said. Legit, I wasn't sure, so I was like, oh, maybe he did do enough. Maybe I need to rewatch it and like really relook at it, which probably can. But no, I just thought if it wasn't, it should have been a split decision win, because I think Cerrone actually probably should have won at least one judge. After that, we had Greg Hardy defeating Jorgen De Castro by unanimous decision. This one was a weird fight because Jorgen De Castro is a bomber, and he was fighting dude. And it kind of like he was fighting the shit out of Greg Hardy. He put it on Greg Hardy the first round, and after, and he was chopping wood with those leg kicks perfectly. Yeah. I think in the second round when he went back to that and he missed that one and his foot clipped the shin, that's when everything changed, because
of course I'm not gonna want to try that.
At the end, he pointed at his foot after the fight. He was just like, my foot, something was wrong with his foot, which is what clearly everybody thought, because he stopped being aggressive right after that happened. He was just in place. He kind of looked like fucking Yoel Romero, just there, like, for the fucking 3 rounds and shit. But
he pretty much like super subbed his toe. Like,
he might have broken it.
He might have, yes. He might have actually really broken that shit, because like the shin, like, you have no shoes on. There's no protection. There's no pattern. There's no nothing for the toes. And you're kicking and you swipe a shin the wrong way.
That shit hurts, dude.
Yeah.
I remember doing that shit during Muay Thai. I clipped just the fucking my boy's shin, and oh my god, like that shit hurt. Even like at half speed, that shit hurt. So imagine at full speed, and you just clip it instead of actually catching how you're supposed to catch. Like, but he was chopping wood really well. Every time he hit, you heard that shit. And I was like, oh shit. And but yeah, I mean, after that, Greg Hardy just stayed busier, tagged him a few times, danced around, and he literally won just by staying busier, honestly. Because his leg was fucked up. His leg was fucked up.
Can't go do to you after, because he, like, I saw the first round. I saw maybe a little bit of the second round. That's about it. But other than that, I didn't see the third round. But yeah, like, that's what that type of pain will do to you. You will say fuck it. You will, like, what is it? What's the saying? Your game plan switches once you get smacked in the face or some shit like that. Like that, like that's what that is. It's an ego check when it's like, okay, I'm gonna keep going after the legs. I'm gonna keep chopping up the shins.
Yeah.
You hit the wrong way, you can barely stand. Those toes off of balance. If you can't do that, you have to switch it up.
Yeah.
And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and that right there is just shows the chance of it doesn't.
Absolutely. After that, we had Calvin Kattar defeating Jeremy Stevens with a wicked fucking elbow. It was a good fight. It was back and forth for 2 rounds, and he got inside, caught him with the short elbow. Damn, I still got the movement. Caught him with the short elbow, and he went down to the ground, started pounding, and caught him with the other elbow, and just fucking busted him open. And the ref just intervened, and he was like, "Nah, kid, you're done. You're done." Good fight. It was a wicked, because as soon as he caught him with the fucking left elbow on the ground, he leaking immediately. Just started leaking like crazy. I was like, ooh. But no, it was a good fight. Calvin Kattar just showed that he's with it, and that he's there to fight, like, straight up. But yeah, he also had a broken fucking nose. You could tell, like, if you looked at his shit, like, at one point, his nose got broken. But yeah, after that, we had Francis Ngannou defeating Jairzinho Rozenstruik. So this is the classic case of what happens when you talk shit and call somebody out that you probably shouldn't be calling out.
Sometimes you just should not call anybody out.
Sometimes you shouldn't, because, like, he's ranked number 2 for a reason, you know? Like, yeah, he had... You can have all the confidence of the world, and that's fine. That's important for a fighter to have, because otherwise, what the fuck are you doing in the ring? You know what I mean? Or in the octagon. But, like, going in with that confidence, as soon as Francis Ngannou started throwing bombs, he started backing up, got scared, got caught, and then got caught like 8 more times on the way down. And
I don't want to say he got caught 8 more times, because
it was like 4 more hits.
Yeah. Because that one punch, it looked like the only grade. It was so fast, and it was just so fucking sudden. Like,
but that's the crazy shit. It like, clipped him.
All that power in just a clip, and it pushed his head. Like, it was so powerful that it pushed his head that it clipped through.
And it rattled his brain. Like, if you catch somebody right on the chin, like, if you just go like this to yourself hard enough, you feel your brain like just go, what the fuck just happened? So, like
when you psych yourself up and you do that,
like literally no, because like if you hit yourself here, that's fine. But if you hit yourself on the chin right here, like you feel that your brain starts like right here. You feel it here. So like imagine getting hit going all the way around. Your brain just fucking rattles. So it's like
because it's your whole jaw. So once this moves, this moves, and it's just like, okay, this is like all of that.
The brain is just like, oh shit. So like after that, like. I mean, Francis Ngannou showed why he's ranked number 2, honestly. Might be ranked number 1 after this shit. But yeah, like, I mean, some people are just born with power, and like, it's pretty much like Tyson. Like, he was born with power and the skill, and Ngannou
We'll talk about that in
power. And
we'll talk about Tyson later.
Yeah. So like, I wasn't surprised to see a 20-second knockout for that heavyweight fight.
Honestly. I was so mad because I looked down and then I looked up and it was over. I was so pissed off. I'm texting you about fucking Bruce Buffer's jacket, and you're like, yo, you didn't see that? I'm like, no, I was just looking down, and 20 fucking seconds later, it's over. I was so mad. Like, and then they waited so long to do the fucking replay. I was so mad.
After that, we had the co-main events. Henry Cejudo defeating Dominic Cruz by TKO in round 2 with 2 seconds left on the clock. So this was controversial for 2 reasons. Well, not for 2 reasons, but one of them is the main reason. A lot of people are going to feel that the fight was stopped too early. And a lot of people are going to feel that the fight was stopped correctly. Some people said too late. You're right. So like that's 3 different camps. I understand all 3 arguments. I understand it being stopped too late because honestly speaking, once he got knocked down, he got hit 11 times straight. It was 1 knee to the head, gets knocked down. Henry Cejudo jumps on him. You don't see his arms anywhere covering his face. That might be because like, his arms are trapped in certain ways. But like, he got hit 11 times straight. Like, you could count cleanly how many times he got hit flush. Anything more than 5 straight is a lot, honestly speaking. Yeah. The thing is,
it's a stoppage. It needed to be stopped.
Even if Dominic Cruz is saying, and I understand from his part, is saying, hey, I was getting back up. I was completely cognizant of what was going on. You have to understand from the ref's perspective, if he doesn't see you defending yourself, you got knee to the face and you got hit 11 times directly to your head without defending yourself once, it's going to look a sort of way. And it's his job to protect the fighter. Now, I understand where he's coming from. He was still completely cognizant. And you could see when he got up, he knew where he was. He knew what was going on. He was like, this is bullshit. Why'd you stop the fight? I get it. You were ready to still fight. You got to understand from the ref's point of view, that's not the way he saw it. That's not the way a lot of people saw it. Some will argue it was stopped too early because he was still cognizant of what was going on. He wasn't knocked out. He didn't have his bell rung or anything like that.
But it did not look like that at all.
It didn't look that way until the fight, like, because anybody could be getting up and dazed. Like that's easily what it is. And
yeah,
so
like we've seen Tyson do it too when he was trying to put his fucking mouthpiece back in. So
exactly.
It's always a thing, but it's about how you respond to that. And then, like, come on. There's other people that have lost way worse matches or way worse knockouts or whatever. So it's like, there's no reason to go after the ref the way he did.
Exactly. And then to talk shit saying like, oh, he smelled like cigarettes and alcohol. It's like, bro, I get it. You're annoyed that you lost. And I understand it. But like,
that was just a smelling salt that he needed.
Just take the L. It's fine. And the other thing is that it's not like he disappointed himself. He put out a good showing being away from the fucking octagon for 3 years. Like, he put on a great showing. It was a close fucking match to begin with. Like, there was nothing until he got kneed. And
he did not train for that loss. And I completely understand it. 3 years away, you trained hard for a return, but a loss is a loss and a win is a win, and you have a loss. Like, you have to know what it is. It's like,
take the L. Like,
at first, I didn't.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I didn't understand what the whole point of him, like, the way he snatched his hand from the ref after him and
because he was pissed. That's why.
I didn't understand. Like, I got that he was pissed, but I'm like, okay, what's the real reason you're doing this? And you just, like, you basically got respect and gave respect to Henry Cejudo. So it's like, what was the point of that? So then the story comes out. I'm like, okay, I understand. He's like, it's not a slight to the other fighter. It's a slight to the ref.
No, it was a slight to the ref.
Decision.
But at the same time, you have to understand the ref's decision as well. Like, regardless if he was fucking compromised in some sort, whatever the fuck he wants to say, like, because he's an analyst for the UFC anyway too. So it's just like, I understand that that's where he's looking at it from after being away from the game for 3 years. But at the same time, like, fighters always complain about early stoppages or what they perceive to be early stoppages. But I'm sorry, you got hit 11 times straight without defending. Even in boxing, they would stop the fucking fight after a while. So it is what it is. Take the L. You lost. And after that, Henry Cejudo, he was just like, yo, I'm out. I'm done. And when he announced that, you saw Dana White's face. Did you see Dana White's face in the background when he announced that? He was just like, why the fuck didn't he tell me this shit? Like, he was just like, fuck. But
I can't make no money. I can't make no more money off this guy.
But that's the thing. Like, if we were gonna, he wasn't paying him the way he wanted to get paid, and that was the other part of it. And he was like, you know what? I don't blame him for retiring, not only because of that, but he wants to start a family. He wants to start his life. He's like, I've been selfish for way too long.
Rousey in this?
Yeah, but he actually went out on top. That's the difference.
I know.
But yeah, like Triple C, like, you know, fucking wrestling gold medal champion in fucking Olympics, lightweight, what was it, bantamweight and flyweight, right? Yeah, champion, fucking awesome. Like, fuck it, go for it. And if he does stick to it, good for him. If he does stick to it, you know. And after that, we had the match of the night with Justin.
If he wants to have more fun, he can always come back.
Exactly, he's only 33. But I think like he's wants to stick to his guns. He never went back to wrestling after he retired from it relatively young at 25. So, yeah. Justin Gaethje. There you go. I always fuck his name up too. Justin Gaethje defeated Tony Ferguson by TKO in round 5. Honestly speaking, I was happy the fight got stopped. Probably should have been stopped in the 4th round. My man Justin Gaethje has the most wicked left hook I've seen in the UFC history. He just outboxed him.
Like, I never thought I would see Tony Ferguson get put down, but we're all
fucking wrecked. Not even put down, but just get wrecked like that.
Yeah, he looked like he was in a fight against himself.
No, he wasn't against himself. He was against somebody better. Period.
as far as comparing how he left the match to the people that he fought and how they left their match.
No, yeah.
Like,
okay, fair enough. Like looking all beat the fuck up like they got into a car accident. Agreed.
Yeah.
But like, bro, like he just whooped his ass from the offset. Like I think so. Like the one thing that I took away that Ferguson said after, like during the interview right after the fight, he was saying, "Oh, you know, we trained for Khabib, blah blah, this and that." Why the fuck were you training for Khabib? That Khabib fight was scrapped like a long time before
this was announced.
Yeah.
Like
you had 6 weeks. Yeah, you had 6 weeks for your training camp. You had 6 weeks to prepare for Justin Gaethje, and now you're gonna say, "Oh yeah, you know, you're gonna keep your laurels on Khabib." All this tells me is Khabib would have fucked you up too. At this point, I'm sorry.
It was a safe excuse.
Khabib would have fucked him. It's not an excuse because Khabib would have fucked him up too. That's my thing.
It's an excuse because it's all hypothetical at this point.
No, it's a poor excuse, period. Because it's no excuse at all because you got fucked up by somebody that wasn't Khabib. So what would you expect to do? What would you expect to do against Khabib? You know what I mean? Nothing. Damn. Khabib would fucking maul him just like fucking Justin Gaethje did. Justin Gaethje had a masterclass performance. At points, he was moving like fucking Tyson. He was moving just like bop bop. Yeah. Like I was just like, yo, he's doing the roll and everything. He's like, he had it perfectly, like going.
Like that too, or is it just yours?
No, yours is fine. Mine, I don't know what's wrong with mine, but
I think it's because remember the video shoot the blue screen in the back. It might just be that. I don't know.
Maybe I don't fucking know. I don't know. I just know it's Ruxin.
I was gonna ask. Anyway. You know how many times I was gonna ask you, is that your mic?
Really? Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, it could have been. That would have been funny. It's actually really here. But no, dude, like he just fucked him up so many times. I like the fact that he dropped Gaethje with the uppercut, but that was his only real connection the whole time. Not that he wasn't hitting Gaethje.
Yeah.
And not that fucking Tony Ferguson doesn't have an iron fucking chin, because I don't know how he was still standing. But like, I mean, he's called El Cucuy for a reason. That's why he kept going. That's why he didn't get dropped until like he actually got dropped. But bro, like
it took him 5 rounds. Like it was a hell of a fucking match. But like,
why did it take so long to get stopped though? That's my thing. Like
because it's Tony Ferguson. Like we've seen him take those same kind of punches. And this was the only time that he actually wore them.
Yeah.
Like they wore him down. His eye was damn near closed.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've seen that.
The crazy shit is like he just kept hitting him and he just kept coming back. So at one point, as Justin Gaethje, like at one point you might think like, am I even hurting? Like I know I'm hurting this motherfucker. I'm hitting him as hard as I can. Even the corner was like, what are you trying to do? Kill him? Take 10% off of the fucking, like take 10% off of your hits. Like, you know, don't get overzealous and shit. And like even the one thing I loved was like the corner was like, yo, you've been in this position before. What happened when you got complacent? What happened when you got comfortable? He was like, I lost. And the fighter being cognizant of what happened before and like just relaxing himself and reminding himself like I'm ahead. I could still fuck him up. I could still win this. Like that was an awesome moment.
Of now, being in the reality of now is like, okay, I'm not making the same mistake. This is where I usually make that mistake.
Yeah.
I gotta switch it off.
Not make it exactly.
That was perfect.
That was awesome, and I saw that. I was just like, that for me. That felt like a movie experience because that only happens really in the movies, or at least you only get to hear it more so in the movies. The reason we heard all of this shit because there was nobody in the crowd. We heard every single grunt, every single breath, every single like little fart that fucking DC probably threw. I'm kidding. No, yeah, like
alone, man.
DC a goat too. Fuck it. But not like it was so good. It was really good. Justin Gaethje put on a masterclass with those fucking fists. That fucking left hook, man, is something to watch. I kind of want to watch it again just to see like that left hook, but like he was moving like Tyson. Once I saw him doing those little rolls, I was just like, yo, I was like, he's moving just like Tyson. That shit is crazy. And his takedown defense was awesome. That's why he didn't get taken down. And after a while, I mean, Ferguson had no answers, bro. Ferguson had no answers. None.
At all.
He just wanted to fight Khabib. He was looking ahead, and I think that was his major problem. He was looking ahead instead of being in the moment. And Justin Gaethje was in the moment, and he won. So, you know.
That answers your question. Like, he didn't change the way he trained, even with the fact that he had a whole different fight, which is not his excuse, but his explanation, I guess, because it is both. Really, it's really both.
Yeah.
You have to, everyone that they put in front of you, you have to train correctly for each person. It's the same thing. Like, even if you're fighting a thing, you have to go watch those tapes. Like,
yeah,
you have to be aware of what this person is capable of.
Yep.
And you have to be reminded. So I don't want to say it was a lazy excuse, but it kind of was. Even if it was
a lazy excuse.
To say you didn't study him like the way you were supposed to.
Yeah, overconfidence is killer, man. All right, so moving on to Money in the Bank.
Yay!
It was decent.
I did not watch the Jeff Hardy Cesaro match.
Me either. I heard it was decent though.
It was the longest match of the night outside of the last three matches. The Money in the Bank and the Drew and Steph match, which was pretty good.
After that, we had the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. The New Day retained versus The Miz and John Morrison, the Forgotten Sons, and Lucha House Party. Decent match. I was expecting a ladder match. I was expecting a ladder match, or at least like a tag elimination. But it was a good match. I mean,
I think that was the same. I think they changed it, or they didn't do that for the fact that
it would have taken too long.
No, because there was no crowd, and if you don't have a crowd, there's really no need for a traditional ladder match.
Fair enough.
And I think that's also the reason why we got those last simulcast match.
After that, we had R-Truth versus Bobby Lashley. MVP was supposed to fight Truth, but then Bobby Lashley came out, and I was like, whatever. It was funny when R-Truth accidentally smacked Bobby Lashley. He was like, over there, and it's like, he's like, I mean to do that. He was like, I mean to do that.
They should have had like a real match. Like I really
no, they should have, because match. I hate how much they shit on R-Truth, as talented as he is, man. Ron Killings is a fucking beast, and
I don't think that they shit on him. I think.
Or do you think you think he's comfortable in what? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're getting paid and you haven't been released yet, fuck it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
because there's really nothing for him to do. Like he's had the NWA title.
Yeah.
Even though that was in TNA at the time, but he's had that. Like, you don't, like, everyone's not going to
get an IT reign. He could get a fucking US title reign. Of course, not the main events, but like, or at least a tag reign. Something. Yeah.
He's had everything except for the two top titles, Universal World Heavyweight Championship.
You actually have a point there.
Yeah. Like, I think he's comfortable, and you have to remember he's 50.
Oh, shit, that's right. He is 50. That dude does not look 50. He looks like he's at most 33, man. Black don't crack. That man looks good for his age, bro.
You have to remember, like, Dustin Rhodes is also 50.
Yeah.
They wear their scars a lot differently.
Yeah.
So, like, they play a certain specific role. I would love to have seen him and Bobby Lashley have a really great match, but it's not necessary. He's like, they use him as pretty much the same way they use Titus. They're ambassadors. Like, he is gonna get the crowd over. Titus is gonna be running around everywhere doing the politics.
True.
So I wish he could do more. I wish he would do more, but it is what it is. It's age, and I think that's just all it is. I just think that it's age and the whole Undertaker effect. We can talk about that later too.
We can talk about that later. After that, we have the SmackDown Women's Championship, Bayley versus Tamina, which is a better match than I thought it was.
Oh my God.
Bayley was kind of being a bitch at the beginning. She's like, "You ain't gonna win, be nice," and just fucking mushing her face. I was like, "Yo, Bayley, stop being like that." And but I mean,
yo, Bayley.
I don't know. She's good at it. She's really good at it, which I appreciate. Yeah, it is the easiest thing to do. Be an asshole. Like, I mean, that's why we are the way we are. But no, yeah, like it's easy to do it, and some people do it better than others. And Bayley does it really well. And I think she probably picked up a lot of shit from Sasha Banks, from her like heel, like from everything she's seen Sasha Banks do. So yeah, and they keep teasing the whole like, oh, you know, does she blame Sasha Banks? Blah blah blah. They keep so obviously that's gonna be something going forward towards next WrestleMania, most likely. That's probably gonna be or Survivor Series. I'm kind of over that whole story.
I don't know. I just think it's gonna
be best frenemies.
Yeah.
Just always watch your back.
Yes, even though they like it's gonna be a seedling for everyone else, even though they don't have to do it. I'm fine with they don't have to have this match.
Yeah, I'm fine with it too.
Or even if they do have this match,
it has to be for a championship when they do, though. That's the thing.
Most definitely. That might be a ways down the line where they might even unify the title. I don't know.
They might be that, so that would actually make sense. And then you have the 4 horsewomen together fighting for the unified title. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Somehow you mix that in somehow. I don't know, because they're always going to put Charlotte. They're always going to put Becky Lynch regardless. So after that, we had Universal Championship Braun Strowman defeating Bray Wyatt in another pretty decent match. The whole thing was Wyatt trying to get his follower back pretty much. And it was decent when he like pulled out the mask and everything. And he was like, "You're back." I fucking, you can't hate on Bray Wyatt's acting and his fucking skills, and man, like it's but like I was watching this shit and I was like, it's really believable. Like he's really like, if he wanted to go into acting, bam, he'd go into acting legit if he wanted to.
I think he would be the better version of See No Evil.
Fair. But no, like I think it was great, and I think it was like his acting was great, and the match overall was pretty good. Obviously he was fighting Bray Wyatt, not the Fiend, so we expected Strowman to retain the title, which he did.
I need you to expound on that text, because you were saying that he's kind of like the Joker. I need more from that.
Oh, in terms of like so I always remember like when he got hit the first couple of times, he was kind of laughing and everything. It reminded me of the scene not in the Joker, but in the Dark Knight when Batman's like punching the shit out of him in the GCPD interrogation room, and he's like, "Where are they?" He's just like laughing while he's getting hit. So that's what that reminded me of until like afterwards, like he wasn't laughing anymore. So that's really all I meant by it. After that, we had.
Even with you saying that, I did see a lot more with like how like nerd shit, how
the Joker turned and all that shit.
Yeah, and how he turned everybody just in like whatchamacallit, Red Hood, and like the history with everybody.
Yeah, his manipulation tactics and all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that he pulls a lot from that, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually pulls from that, because like the way he manipulates people is somewhat akin to how the Joker would do it. So, yeah.
Pretty much. Why are not selling Fiend sweaters? Oh, not Fiend sweater, Bray Wyatt sweaters.
They should. They should be.
They really should.
Yeah.
They go into regular clothing.
Just get a nice red cashmere sweater and just send it to us. But it'll have to be oversized too. Like, so like it would just make sense. WWE Championship match, Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins. It was a good match.
Good back and forth. Nothing really to dig too deep into. It was like a 20-minute match.
But it was a good match. Like it was paced properly. Each person got their time to shine, and Drew McIntyre was just pretty much out there to prove why he's like the face of the company right now. So yeah.
and as he should have. So do you like the new entrance music for Seth?
The new look, I'm with it. I like the leather jacket. I like the fur. Like, it looks good.
Should have been white.
Honestly speaking, no, it shouldn't have. It's fine being, because it's supposed to be. There's supposed to be a dichotomy between what he's portraying himself as and what he really is. That's why he has the black. That's why I understand that. It's supposed to be a clash of styles, not a styles clash. Get it? But the funny thing is, like, when he had his hair tied into a bun, I was like, leave it like that, dude. You look way better than with your hair out like that, because it highlights your beard, it highlights the rest of your getup and everything. I'm like, just keep it that way. And then he just went, whoop. I was like, whack.
Well,
but
the only reason why I say that
music is whack, but whatever.
Well, it's the Monday Night Messiah, so it's still the Messiah.
I don't care for that fucking gimmick name.
I like it, and once maybe like a couple of weeks ago, he came out in all white, like he was in like he was in a church choir. So like he should have stayed in that. Like, I don't know, he has a different presence to me. He has a different presence when he's in all white, even down to that WrestleMania moment with Triple H, where he had on the all white and I think it was gold. But like it's a different effect, and he needs that different effect down to even the promos that we were arguing about last week, the way he speaks.
He sounded a little better.
He wasn't whining.
In this last when I was watching the Money in the Bank, like during the promo thing, he sounded a little better. And I was just like, all right, maybe he's understanding that he shouldn't sound. Yeah, he's been doing it little by little.
That was really part of our argument last week, because he's really been doing that. He's really been changing that and more so.
Because when he was talking, he was like more calm and collected, more direct. And I was just like, okay, that's what you're supposed to be doing. Not sounding like this, talking about like, no, just, calm, collected, straight to the point. Be the Messiah. If you're going to be the Messiah is not fucking whining and complaining the whole time. The Messiah is being direct, straight to you.
Yeah. Chest up, head high, speaking, and everyone follows. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what it was.
After that, we had
both Money in the Bank.
Both Money in the Bank ladder matches at the same time. They made it a production of them starting from the lobby for some reason. It was gonna happen inside the Titan Tower. So what do you like? I don't fine, but it shouldn't have started at the. No, they should have started them in the parking lot then, if that's the case. I don't know. You put that face. I put that face the whole time. The one thing I didn't mind the whole thing, but like the one thing I did get annoyed with was just the blatant waste of food. I'm like, bro, like, and I told you yesterday, I'm like, bro, that's fucked up. There's people that need that food, like, and you're just wasting food on a fucking segment that didn't need to be in that whole thing, to be honest with you.
It never does. Like, we talk about this all the time. We talk about it all the time. Everything's given. We talk about it because it's always a regular thing. I understand it. It's just really nothing to me. It's nothing to even mention anymore, because they're gonna keep doing it until we get like a specific platform.
No, if they keep doing it when shit is okay in the world, I'm gonna give less of a fuck.
Shit is never okay in the world.
Relatively okay, or status. I'll say status quo. I'll say status quo, not
status quo.
Motherfucker, you know what I mean.
I know what
pandemic. When it's hard to get food.
You complain like hell when the fucking New Day did that shit for what was it, the Popeye shit?
What?
When they did the Popeye, I think it was for Thanksgiving when they had the Popeye thing. Whenever they did it, but every time
that was mainly because I thought it was stupid. That's why. And a waste of food.
Well, we complained about it for both reasons.
But
either way,
it was KFC.
It was red and white stripes. You're right. Same shit to me.
Either way,
different. Yeah.
I'm happy that Asuka and Otis, who we actually picked and wanted to win, actually won. Honestly, apparently they killed Rey Mysterio.
I did not think.
I know.
I didn't think. Like, why would she win? She just won the Royal Rumble last year, the first one.
But it also makes sense because, like, the fuck else? She doesn't have the tag team titles anymore, so you might as well
But she like that. It's the same decision if fucking Baron Corbin wins. He has a hell of a push. She, as out of all of the females in that match, she's had a hell of a push.
Yeah, so why not keep writing it?
She doesn't need it. That's
yes, she does. You know why she needs it? Because she's not American. That's why she needs it. Unfortunately, we know Vince doesn't like fucking foreigners. It's that simple. Let's be fucking real about it. That's why she needed it. Anybody else could have won that shit easily. Why? Because they could speak English properly, not properly, but like you know what I mean. They could speak English to the point where you could understand them relatively well.
Dana Brooke can't really speak that well with a mic, but
who?
She's Dana Brooke, but she's decent. I like her. Like they really shit on Dana Brooke.
They shit on Dana Brooke like 7 times in the match, which I was mad about when she got the fucking thing, and I was like, that's not it.
Like,
there's a lot of money in there. Oh, there's a lot of money in there. Yeah. That's the bonus. Can I take the money at least? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. She has to. So it's not that much shit that she's taking because she's getting that bonus, but it still counts. It's like,
The other thing that like had me like, oh shit, was like when they went to Vince McMahon's office and he just looks different. He looks like he don't give a fuck anymore, honestly. Like his face, he lost hundreds of millions because of the XFL. And I told you it was gonna happen. Nobody listened to me. And the thing was,
it's not that we didn't listen to you, it's that this time was not his fault.
No, it's not. It wasn't his fault. And I'm not gonna blame it on him. Either way it was gonna happen. It was gonna fold regardless eventually. Just not this fast, and he wasn't gonna lose money this fucking fast. So that's why he's just like, fuck it, like whatever. And like he just looked so much skinnier. He looked skinnier. He looked like more haggard. Like, and I was just like, damn, bro. Like, I've never seen him like this. And no, even if he was older, like he just still looked, you know.
He's wearing the age.
Yeah, he's wearing the age this year. I mean, after the last couple months. So like,
and also like he's doing so much shit. He's not. I'm sure he's not in the gym as.
Yeah, that's stress, bro. That's stress. 100%. Stress from fucking your league bottling out against the second time, and like anybody will be stressed. And then on top of that, you have to deal with WWE shit. Like it's trying to keep it going forward. Like it's
doesn't really have to.
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't really have to.
He doesn't have to, but he has to. I was just happy that Otis got the fucking briefcase, even though it was a dumb way for him to get it, but it was a funny way for him to get it. When he caught it, he was like, "Oh yeah!" I was just like, I fucks with him. He's funny.
Like there was really no one else that needed to win because everybody in this match, besides Aleister Black, is pretty established at this point.
Who pretty much got killed off, technically, somewhat. He got thrown off of the roof. Rey Mysterio is supposed to be leaving the WWE, so that's probably why he got thrown off the roof. The other thing is, Aleister Black, he already started tweeting like shit about possibly a more darker turn for his character since he got killed or murdered by Baron Corbin. So like, if he comes back, and he's actually being groomed as like the new style, maybe Undertaker type character, then this would really help with that because he technically got killed in that match, story wise.
It would work, especially with his entrance. It worked.
Yeah, exactly. Just don't change the
music.
So
does he come back during like when we actually have people in the crowd?
Yes.
I think he should
come back then. I wouldn't have him on WWE TV for a while, actually, honestly, because he's technically dead. So Well,
even with AJ, like he should have had more time out as well.
Absolutely. That's why, and we all thought he was gonna have more time out as well until they needed somebody. Somebody else probably pulled out from the fucking ladder match that we didn't know that was slated to it, and that's why they picked AJ. Like, yo, come back, and that's why they threw in that. That's why they threw in that Undertaker room and shit, like so he'd get scared and whatever and this and that. So
that was super dope. Like it should have did more, and maybe he should have came out of that room and popped back up in a different light, in a different type of way. Just like it's not like he needs it for his character because like he already has that following, but it would have been kind of cool. Like if that was a thin spot, that would have been perfect.
Yeah.
But
What was I gonna say? What? So what do you grade Money in the Bank overall?
3 out of 5.
So like a 7, technically, kind of.
It's in the
That's
middle.
a 6, technically, actually.
It's in the middle.
I'll give it like a 6.5. I give it 65%.
That's the only reason why I didn't do anything out of 10 because I don't know where to put it. But
no, I mean, a 3 out of 5 is legit. You just multiply by 2. That's 6 out of 10. So yeah.
So we can just go into that. This is why I like AEW because their crowd is the wrestlers. That's what. Now, like, what makes AEW different than what makes AEW's pay-per-view different than WWE's pay-per-view now? Like,
oh, that's coming up too. Shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Okay. Tough guy. But yeah, I think it's next week. It's the 20 whatever that is, whatever Saturday is. I'm looking forward to it. I just don't know what the difference is right now because it's the main.
We'll talk about the pay-per-view next week. What happened this week in terms of, the last week in terms of AEW? Or what's been happening for the past couple of weeks because we haven't touched on AEW that much.
Yeah, so Cody and Lance Archer, they're going back and they've been going back and forth. They're in the TNT tournament. And it's really good. They're both the finals. They're both in the finals, but they're still having matches here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So it started off with Cody going up against Joey Janela in a really decent match. Like, this is like the second time they fought, but it was just a really decent match. It was nothing ordinary, but it was a really decent match. Then after that, like, they're trying to get the women's title back into the show, and they haven't been doing that because Nyla has been off, and now that Double or Nothing is coming up, they have to do that. So Nyla had the with Kenzie Page.
She did that fucking senton.
Yeah, and
I was like, yeah, you can do that.
And then she tried. I saw that text. And then she damn near killed her with 3 power bombs back to back to back. Oh
she
my
fucking
God!
Beasted on her. Like, I was just like,
really did. But I like it though because she's trying to send that message like.
That's what she should have done.
Somebody in the crowd should have did that shit. Because it was, I don't want to say it was bad, but she took that shit like a champ.
He did.
And Kenzie Page took that shit like a champ. So I like how they're using the jobbers or the lesser known talent because they're actually making shit pop.
Yeah.
We had a video package from MJF talking about he's pretty much not like Roddy Piper. He's not like Flair. He's better than you and you know it. He's better than them as well. So I like it. He hasn't been.
He hasn't put a foot wrong yet. Shit talking. So
he really hasn't. Like, as far as the promos go and as far as the matches go, he's really the shit, and he has some great backup in Wardlow. So it's only right. He has the right muscle, and him being a Cody guy, but not for TV anymore. But he's still a Cody guy. Cody's
obviously, yeah. Cody's letting him run that shit. Like, run with it. Fuck it.
I like that. I like the difference between the Cody guy and the Kenny guy. Well, the Kenny girl. Like, Kenny gave Rio the title, and Cody is just building these characters.
Yeah.
I like that a lot more because even Darby, like, these characters I think they're going to last a lot longer than Kenny's girl. Except for Nyla. I think Nyla is a
Nyla's character building has been really good so far, honestly speaking. So, like,
it's been on one plane so far. Like, Rio, even Rio, she's decent, but she's not as good as like, her character building is not as good as Nyla or even and pretty much anyone else, even Britt Baker.
Yeah.
It's not the same. And it might be the language barrier, but even though she's having great matches, it might be
a
that.
lot of it is a language barrier, without a doubt. It is, honestly. So
Yeah.
anything else
And
in terms of AEW?
the chairman Sean Spears did a promo pretty good. Like at this time, they're building because they have.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you might as well.
Yeah, they're just building and building. Great promo. It's reminding people that you still need promos. And WWE's been doing promos too, but not the same.
Yeah, obviously.
It doesn't work with certain type of matches. After that, we had announcement for MJF. He's going to have a match with Jungle Boy at Double or Nothing. What was the next match? John Moxley. He had a match against Frankie Kazarian. What a great fucking match.
It was good?
It was really fucking. I really enjoyed it. It was back and forth. It was kind of slow, but you got to remember, Frankie Kazarian is pretty much very similar to Triple H. They trained by the same guy, Killer Kowalski. Yeah. So the same type of matches that they have. Yeah. It's very slow, but it's very methodical, very, very psychological. So it was a lot of back and forth. And at the end of the match, we had, of course, Moxley coming out on top. And then we got these guys coming out to jump them, the Dark Order.
Okay.
Yeah, and this match came out of nowhere, and everyone's just like, okay, this needs to be built up a little bit more because it's the world title match.
Agreed. Him versus Brody Lee?
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah, why not? But like, who else is he gonna fight?
It needs to be built up more, just like people said. It's too quick.
It definitely does. It definitely does.
That's what I'm saying already. That's what I meant by that. Not like by that's the wrong choice. I mean it like it's like literally like 2-3 weeks of build. They're WWEing it right now. That's what they're doing in terms of that.
Yeah. Well, Moxley was utilized prior to like everyone stopping. They pre-recorded a whole bunch of matches with
unless they like, you know, they keep this feud going even after the fucking the championship match, then that's fine with me, I guess. Because remember, back in the Attitude Era and shit, like in the 2000s, like you would have back and forth matches, like so between the same people for the title, like maybe 2 or 3 times before anything. So
it should be. It should be more like with this. It should be a lot more mind games. So I'm interested to see what happens next week. Well, not next week, but this Wednesday. I'm interested to see what happens then, and I'm just interested to see what happens even after the match because there has to be more build-up because they built a lot on Jericho in a circle versus Moxley, but Moxley's not Moxley. Jericho in the inner circle is also now dealing with the Elite again, and being that they stopped Blood and Guts, they need to do something else with them. So I like that they're giving Moxley a real run.
Yeah.
He's had about like 3 matches already, so it's interesting to see where that goes, and hopefully to establish Brody Lee because he's not going to win, but to establish him, they have to do more. Yeah. They have to do more with the storyline and with him. Let me just go down a little bit more. Lance Archer had a match with QT Marshall. Because did we talk about the match that they had that Lance Archer had with Dustin Rhodes the week before?
Yeah.
Pretty fucking savage, right? So this is supposed to be like a revenge match. And it was pretty good. It was a pretty good match. QT Marshall actually looked better than you would think he would look in the one-on-one match against Lance Archer. He kind of looked better than Colt Cabana.
Really?
Yeah. Like Lance Archer is really that dude for doing that. He's really that dude for making him look that good. It was really, really good back and forth. But the main thing that happened was after the match with Jake the Snake bringing the Snake after Britt Baker had pretty much DDT'd Brandy Rose outside the ring, threw her in the ring, and now she has a snake in her face.
There's a snake in my boot. Sorry, I was
Of course it
watching
was in bed.
Toy Story.
I haven't watched that shit in so long. I don't know what to do with that. I'm like, there's 4 movies and I've only watched, I think.
I'm only watching 2. Well, I saw the
Yeah.
third one. Let me not front like I didn't see the third one. But like that's where it ended for me. I have no reason to watch 4, so whatever.
That's how. But it was the snake and the snake shit was crazy. Even though Brandy cut like a little promo on Jake the Snake right before the match. Like she cut a promo and they aired it right before the match saying basically keep my name out your mouth. I am not Bill's Monica Lewinsky. I'm not any of these people. I'm not Samson's Delilah. I'm like none of these people. So it's like watch it. I'm pretty much your boss's boss, kind of.
I'll cut you, bitch, pretty much. So
yeah, pretty much. I really liked it. I really liked that promo, and I really, really like the fact that we got, can't say Damien because WWE still owns the copyright for Damien the Snake, but I like that we saw another Snake from Jake the Snake. So he's still the Snake. Jesus Christ, last match. Oh my God, the tag team. I don't want to say it was a hardcore match because it was a street fight. It was a street fight between LaTeX God, Chris Jericho, and Sammy Guevara versus Matt Hardy and Kenny Omega. Pretty fucking crazy.
I heard it was a really good match.
Have you not seen the GIF or the video?
I haven't seen anything.
You haven't?
I haven't seen anything.
Sammy Guevara really got hit by a car.
I just swipe right on my notifications from anything on Twitter most of the time, so that's probably like a lot of things where I don't watch it. But that happened last week, right?
Yes, it happened last week.
I could just fast forward on Sling TV and just get to that point and watch it. It's no big deal.
Yeah, really fucking crazy. They end up going to the stadium, not the stadium, the pretty much almost fighting on the football field, like so close. They had the sign over the inner circle sign over. I don't want to call it the Titantron, but they're whatever you want to call that shit. Like after they won, but we got 3 versions of Matt Hardy. We got Matt Hardy. We got Damascus. We got I don't know what his other version of the Broken Matt Hardy was, but we got all 3 versions, and it was pretty dope. Like they threw him in. The first time we got a different version was he went. Jericho threw him backstage, threw him back through the curtain, and he came back like 2 minutes later, dressed. I'm like, okay, cool. And then after that, they threw him in the fucking ice freezer, and he came out of the ice freezer as Damascus. I'm like, okay, that's a bit much, but kind of cool though. So I don't know. He had like a crazy fucking gash, like right on his, like right around here. Ouch. And I'm like, I watched it like 3 times just to see what the fucking happened. And I have no clue. No clue. But I don't want to spoil it too much because you have to.
No, I'll watch it. I'll watch it today. I'll watch it after we finish this. For sure.
It was just fucking crazy. Like, not too many high spots, but pretty fucking good. That's pretty much it. If you want to talk about Tyson possibly, well, I know Evander Holyfield's boxing again, but Tyson's skills is just really up there.
Tyson. You don't take those skills away. That man's 60, not 60, but like the way he moved, fucking hell.
Yeah, he got that right back.
And he'll knock out anybody with that. Yeah. Even at his age, like fucking hell. That was beautiful.
Taker's last ride?
It was awesome. I think we could do an episode on the whole thing just by itself or like per episode. So because they're coming out every weekend, so we could definitely do that. Really?
Why is it still like I thought? How many episodes is that? Like, are they trying to piggyback on Michael Jordan's fucking?
I think it's the same type of thing.
It is. Okay, Cop. Fire. What it is. But okay. So I don't know. It's kind of cool.
It was good. It was good, but we could definitely go in depth into it. I think that's part of like the discussion group. So that would be a good thing to have.
We could definitely talk about that on Friday.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. With that being said, that's the end of the podcast. Thank you so much for being with us. You can follow us on Twitter at Pokes and Chokes. Myself, since you're dancing, myself at Pokes and Chokes. Well, us on Twitter at Pokes and Chokes. Myself at _ Mr. Alex 75 _ the guy on the other side.
Turn that shit off.
At NU _ KEWLA. Myself on not on Twitter. What are you talking about? Poke Chokes Podcast on Instagram. Facebook.com/Pokes and Chokes. That whole thing threw me off actually doing that. And you can listen to us on iTunes, Spotify. I almost said Redbubble. Stitcher, Google Music, and Transistor FM. And you can get the merch on Redbubble and Threadless. Yeah, Threadless. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and
I still want
peace out. The what? Oh, shut up about your shoes.
Come on, I got to be a little bit comfortable coming out of this shit.
Yeah. They're not going to be comfortable. Peace out.
They're like bands. It's like bands. I got my bands on, but they look like sneakers.